Hi, Junior 2. Listen today. Shapes and patterns. Everything has a shape. Shape means the outline of an object. When we describe something, we talk about what shape it is. Rectangles, circles, squares, triangles. These shapes are regular. They are classic shapes. But shapes can be irregular too, like the shape of a car, or a motorbike, or a shoe. Shapes can make patterns. If they are repeated over and over, all the shapes together make a pattern. Shapes can be found naturally. Think of all the leaves on a tree, or the blades of grass around it, or the pattern of the lines forming a car lane on the road. Just keep your eyes open. There are so many shapes and patterns to see. Kareem is playing in his school playground. Does his playground floor have a shape? Does it have a pattern? Each tile is a square shape, and they are laid out in a pattern. One blue tile, one yellow tile, one blue, one yellow, and so on. A pattern is a sequence that is repeated. In this case, the pattern is one yellow, one blue, repeated many times. Let's check out another example. Nancy and her brother Ali are playing with their favorite bricks. Ali places one blue cube and two green. Now Nancy wants to complete the pattern that Ali started. What will she do? She places another blue piece, followed by two green ones. Good for you, Nancy. She has figured out the pattern Ali has started and has continued it. Patterns can be found in shapes and in numbers too. Look at the sequence. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Can you figure out what the next number is? It's 3. That's the pattern here. And we can keep adding 1, 2, and 3 on and on and on. Now let's take a look at these shapes. They appear in this sequence. Can you guess what the missing shapes are within our sequence? Let's figure out the pattern first. This will help us work out the missing shapes. If we look at the first 4 shapes, they are all different. But then it seems that these 4 shapes repeated again. So we get a pink square, then a missing shape, followed by a purple diamond, then another missing shape. If our conclusion is correct, the missing shapes must be an orange triangle between the pink square and the purple diamond. And the last shape is a blue star. Let's take a look at another pattern. Can you complete the pattern? These are all the same shape, but they point in different directions. They have different orientations. The first triangle is pointing up. The second is pointing down. The third is pointing up. What comes next? The same shaped triangle pointing down. It's a pattern composed of 2 shapes being repeated several times. Dalia and Marwa both love knitting and decide to make a new scarf for their friend's birthday. Dalia knits a blue part, followed by a white part. Then Marwa knits a blue part, followed by a black part. Dalia likes these colors and persuades Marwa to continue the pattern they've created. So, now which colors should Dalia and Marwa use? And in what order? They want to repeat their pattern. So, Dalia continues with the blue, then white, and Marwa with blue, then black. They keep doing this several times until they end up with a beautiful scarf. Now their gift is ready. Let's hope their friend likes it. Now think of the moon. The moon goes through a pattern or cycle. It's called the lunar cycle. It starts as a new moon, which is when it is hardly visible. It grows into a crescent and keeps growing until it becomes a full moon. Then it decreases in size again until it becomes a crescent once more. This is a natural pattern. Astrologers have used this natural phenomenon to calculate the months of the year and predict tides, weather, and seasons. This is one example of how patterns found in nature can be used to our benefit. Let's recap. Shapes and patterns are absolutely everywhere you look. Outside, inside, in the country, in the city, everywhere. Patterns are repeated shapes or sequences. Understanding patterns and how they occur help us find out the missing shapes of any pattern. Identifying and understanding patterns also helps us to understand our world better. Keep your eyes open to see the many shapes and patterns